he does these 5 things if he wants a relationship. In this video, you will discover the particular activities, qualities, and behavior patterns that a man exhibits when he's truly invested into you and truly wants you to be his girlfriend. Now, of course, if you are ready to discover how to be the most attractive woman so you can be the right man for you, you comment, "I am ready" now below. Now, I'm, of course, your host, Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man method. And look, if you are new to this channel, this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man you want desires and, most importantly, pursues you forever. Now, if you like my background, the content I share, anything in this video, go ahead and give it a like. And also don't forget to push that button, that bell below, so you can get notified for more juicy videos coming your way. And lastly, sharing is caring, so don't forget to share it with a girlfriend. Now, listen to the very end because I have a surprising added bonus for you as well that will help you to understand if he really wants to have a deep connected long-term relationship. Number 5 is he actively listens. So picture yourself, you're on a date, potentially a first date, and you share about your life. You may share about what you do, which I usually don't recommend, but you share like something that's of interest, maybe a favorite hobby, maybe an incredible travel experience that you had, and then watch how does the man actually respond. Now, how he can respond is either like sharing what his favorite travel experience is. So he could immediately make it about himself. He could also say nothing and just nodding, which then, of course, kind of almost like forces you to take the lead. I don't really like that. Or he actively listens. So he's like, wait a minute. So I'm on this journey with you, but I still don't understand. Wait, what happened after you entered the cave, right? Or wait, what happened after you jumped out of the plane, and how did you feel about it? So there will be follow-up questions. So you want to make sure that your man is actually following along in your footsteps in the journey because he's partaking in your experience because it magnifies his own experience. Now, this only works, of course, if he's interested in and invested into you. If he doesn't do that, then, there's a really high chance that he doesn't want a deep connected long-term relationship and that it's more about him or that he's just, he's not really putting that much effort into the relationship. Now, of course, let me know where are you watching from. And number 4 is he surprises himself. So I see this with men all the time, with women actually, like giving men the benefit of the doubt, telling them, you know what, like the man can't come visit me because he lives in a different state, right? Or, he can't commit right now because he has still, whatever, his high school aged child at home and needs to wait until it goes to college. So in other words, I call it, he needs to still wash his hamster's hair. So I want you to really treat it as such, as if he's telling you something silly like that. Now, we put so much emphasis onto what the man says and actually say, wait a minute, who cares? You can surprise yourself. To give you a story that I had when I was dating this guy from Germany. Originally, I'm from Germany. And I went back to the US after I had already been here for 2 years. So it's just for visit in Germany. And, he actually hated the US, right? So he's like, oh my God, I can't even believe that you want to be there, want to live there, all the things, want to spend your time there. And so I went back to the US, minding my own business. And sure enough, like a month later, he told me that he had booked a plane ticket, that he had booked himself a conference in Southern California that's like related to his field of work, and that he's going to come to visit me. And I was like, wait a minute, you told me that you hate the US, right? But he surprised himself because he wanted to have a deep connected long-term relationship with me. So men will surprise themselves. They will go above and beyond. They don't know. They will be like shocked by the activities and the actions that they take themselves. They will not even recognize themselves when they're truly in love with you, and they will overcome obstacles that didn't even know that's possible. So don't settle for anything less. Now, if you like this content, and do me a favor and of course share it with a girlfriend or two, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, along the same lines, number 3, he makes changes. He makes changes, right? So again, it surprises himself that he makes changes. Because, there's this very famous saying that men marry women hoping for them to not change, and women marry men hoping for the men to change. Okay, and so what's interesting about that is, when I met my husband, Brody, I was like, you know what? You could really do with a better wardrobe. Now, I met him in Hawaii. He was wearing shorts, basically, not tank tops, but like just, random t-shirts, things like that. And I just, I'm a fan of like nice looking shoes, the nice pair of jeans with a belt and a dress shirt and all those things, right? And lo and behold, as we got to know each other a little better, and particularly after he proposed to me, like he actually started to hire a color and image consultant, and, just really started to dress the way how I wanted him to dress. But I never really put that on him. I just made like one comment, whatever that was, like a year early or whatever, right? But I was never nagging him on that. So again, a man wants to change because a man wants to make you happy, right? But it has to come from him. It can't be you nagging him and saying, if you really loved me, you would change for me. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even that important to me anymore when he finally changed. And there's so many more examples that I could give you. My husband started going to the gym, even though he was not really athletic and he didn't really like working out, and on the stories go. Number 2 is he loves you at your worst. Now, what does that mean? So what we always think is we're only lovable if we're on our best behavior, right? If we're like polite, if we're the best girlfriend, if we are caring, understanding, surprising, sexy, flirty, all those things, that's when he loves us. However, when he really wants to have a relationship with you, he loves you at your worst as well, because he loves all of you. Like you see, he wants to see your authentic self. He wants to see like who you are in your full complexity. He wants to see all colors of the rainbow. So when you all of a sudden go into your rage monster and you lose it, or if you break down and you get sad, you get grief, or if you feel helpless, or if you get a panic attack, or whatever the case may be that you consider your worst, which by the way is totally subjective because it depends on what you judge yourself for. Isn't that true? So he loves you at whatever you judge yourself for. So then your only job will be to actually accept yourself. Because otherwise you will not believe him. You'll be like, you're lying. I don't believe you. And then of course you push him away. So you want to make sure you also work on yourself, receiving all of who you really are. Right? So whether that's, the disorganized, chaotic self, the one that's too big, too bright, too bold, too loud, all those things, too intense, all of that you want to embrace because he will love you at your worst. Number 1 is he introduces you to friends. His friends know your name. Now, if you are the best kept secret in town, now that is not a good sign because that means he's hiding you for one reason or another. So he either has like another girl on the side, maybe he doesn't want his friends to know about you because when they know about you, they can either create a loyalty towards you and then tell you the truth about him, or if they're like you, they can actually haunt him and be like, what's wrong with you, dude? Why are you not committing to this girl? So he doesn't want to be reliable and responsible for that. So he's not going to introduce you to his friends. However, if he wants to have a relationship with you, of course he introduces you to his friends because he wants to have all the feedback and he wants to say, hey, this is also your new friendship circle. I want to see how you fit in, because he's really seeing himself with you. He's picturing his entire world with you. So you really want to follow along. What does he picture himself with, right? What's his internal movie like? What scenes does he play in his head? And this is, of course, shown by the actions that he takes. Now, before I share my final bonus secret, comment below which of these do you see in your current man? So I'd love to hear from you. Now, the bonus for those of you who stayed until the very end is if a man really wants to have a deep connected long-term relationship, he is emotionally present. He's emotionally available. You can be all of the emotions. You don't have to be afraid of it. You don't have to be apologizing for it. And as a matter of fact, he will be able to cry with you, or he will be able to emphasize when you're angry as well. Now, not only that, but he will also share with you, he will really share with you his deepest feelings, how he really feels about things. Maybe how sad he is that his grandma died, or that his puppy died, or whatever the case may be, right? Or how angry he is about a certain situation. So he will actually share with you all of his emotions because he feels deeper connected to you. And that's what he really wants to have, right? He really wants to experience that intimacy with you when he wants to have a deep connected long-term relationship with you. So that makes sense. So discover the 30-second trick to make any man desire you. Hop on over to triggerhisdesire.com, and the link is also in the description as well. And hello, if you haven't done so already, watch next. When a man deeply loves you, he will start saying these 5 things. Lots of love to you, ladies, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.